Take one.
Hi, I'm Julie Pierce. I am the co-founder and director of Nourish 282.
Hi, I'm Lori Haddad. I co-lead the pantry with my friend Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bentz. Like Lori said, I am a co-lead here and help organize the pantry.
And if I could just take a moment to thank Faith United, who so generously has provided this space for us for a year now, which is really incredible. That we've had a home for a year is awesome. So thank you to the entire community of Faith United.
82.
Nourish 282 is a local nonprofit that helps families in our community who are struggling to keep food on their table for their kids. So we serve families who have kids in schools or the families who live out of district that have kids in our schools, and we provide food stability.
How did you get the name to Nourish 282?
Our name actually represents the area that we serve. So our school district here in the St. Anthony New Brighton is the ISD District 282. And so we used that to kind of show what area we serve. And Nourish is just a word that my co-founder, Sarah McGrath, came up with that just really represents what we hope to provide for our families. And it isn't just about food. We really hope to create and have, we're quite a few years in, to create a community of people that really love and care for one another and nourish all parts of their lives and their bodies.
We know that you need food and that you need other things too. What kind of things can people donate to Nourish 282? Like toys or clothes? Is there a list somewhere that people can donate? Of what people can donate?
Yes, actually, we do a few different things. We obviously take food, and food is a huge part of what we do, but we also provide personal care items and household items. So personal care would be like soap and shampoo and toothbrushes and toothpaste, feminine hygiene. And then our household items are really popular ones that are needed is things like laundry detergent and paper towels and toilet paper. And in addition to that, the other thing we do is birthday bags out of the pantry. So when a child has a birthday, we can provide a bag that has everything, to make a cake and maybe to have some decor and balloons, and there's usually like a little present in there. And then in the fall, we provide outerwear. And that's actually how we started this whole thing. I was a mom at Wilshire Park, and I was noticing that a lot of kids needed warm boots and jackets. And so a friend and I set up a free store. We had people donate outerwear. So that's like winter gear, your hat and your boots and mittens and everything. And we set up a free store and had families come and choose items for their kids. So head to toe warm gear. And that was 7 years ago, which is hard to believe. And that is actually how Nourish 282 was born. So we do all those things. And there is information about all this on our website. Nourish282.com has lists of things that you can provide and then more information.
Of things did Nourish 282 need the most? And what kind of things do you already have enough of?
Well, what we need the most of changes a lot from month to month. But we go through a lot of toilet paper, a lot of soup, a lot of breakfast foods. What else, Michelle?
Fruits
Oh, yeah.
and vegetables usually are one that we need a lot of. We actually do get a lot of soup, so we have soup on hand right now, but like Lori said, it does change from month to month, and sometimes we need specialty foods for our certain bags over here too.
Do you only need food for meals, or do you need snack foods too?
That is a good question. We definitely need snack foods, because do you like to eat snacks? Yes, so we serve a lot of families with a lot of kids, so we definitely need snack foods too. And even easy to eat foods that kids can make themselves, like macaroni and cheese that can go in the microwave. Lots of those kind of things are good for our bags too. So good question.
Can people donate money to help instead of food or other items?
Thanks, Melody. Yes, and in fact, our greatest need is really monetary. We really need funds. We can't do everything we do without having financial contributors. Our community is really generous, so we feel really fortunate. But our annual budget is right around $72,000 every year. It's a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah. So yes, our greatest needs are financial, and people can donate right through our website. So it's really easy to just log on and go to nourish282.com, and then there's a donate button that you'll see almost right away. Thanks for thinking of it.
People need all kinds of vitamins and nutrients. How can our donations help make sure that people get all kinds of the food that people need?
That is a great question, and so important for food stability. And I think sometimes when you think of a food pantry, it's a lot of like quick grab and go foods. And so they're not always the healthiest choices. There are things we like who doesn't love mac and cheese and stuff, but it's not feeding us as well as the vegetables and fruits, right? So we do offer all kinds of things. We are non-perishable, so it is mostly canned foods or boxed foods, but we ensure that every bag that we put out of food has vegetables and fruits and a really good balance of nutritional items. And then the other part of what we do is actually given in the form of a grocery store gift card. So we give families $40, which will soon go up. Families don't know this yet, but soon to be $50 a month for every child they have in their family, with a cap of $250. So we are actually handing them money to spend at either Aldi or Cub every single month to buy fresh food for their families, so they can get the fruits and the vegetables and the milk, because that's this hard one for families. And that is our best way to provide those fresh items for families so that they get a well-balanced diet.
Can people donate foods that need to go in the fridge or freezer? What about foods that need perishable things to go with it? Like how cereal needs milk, or mac and cheese needs butter and milk to make it.
That's a great question. Currently, we don't have refrigeration. It is in our short-term goal to have a refrigerator. We actually have a freezer ready to come to us, which we could really use right now. We'll look at our pantry in a little bit. We don't have space for it. So we are hoping for a little bit more space, and then we will be able to have a refrigerator and a freezer, which would be really nice for us, because it is hard to do the perishable things. My hope is right now that families are able to get those items through the gift card allotment that we give them every month.
What about people who don't have a home or place to cook, or who need pots and pans and utensils to cook things? How can we help them?
That's a good and kind of complex question. It's a little bit something that we definitely are concerned about, because right now housing is such an incredible need for people. It's really expensive to have a house or an apartment. We do have a small little stipend that we set aside for people who are on the verge of homelessness or are currently unhoused. And we help in different ways. So there's lots of different things we can do. But for people who don't have pots and pans and things like that, there are a lot of services available for them to receive items like that through like bridging.org. There's a couple organizations that could provide things, but that is outside of what we do. But we're good to always point people in the right direction. So if someone reaches out to me we always help them find other resources.
People come from many different cultures. How can we donate food that honors cultural food preferences?
That's a really good question. You're right. People come from a lot of different cultures and like to eat a lot of different things. So we do have a list on our website that gives people an idea about what they can pack for different cultures. That rack over there has all the bags, or some of the bags. We do Tibetan, Latino, East African, West African, Middle Eastern, North African, and East Asian. Those are our popular bags, as well as the gluten-free bags. But there's a whole list on our website that can show you what could be packed in those bags.
Right, if you want to look up here, we have them listed on our wall here too for our benefit, but this is all on our website also. So if you want to make a whole bag for a family, we give you good examples of what you could put in that bag.
What about people who have food allergies or need gluten-free food or are lactose intolerant?
That's a very good question. So if you can see here, we have a specialty food rack, and we do have some gluten-free bags, so we make sure everything in that bag is gluten-free if there's someone in the family that has a gluten-free. As far as allergies, we don't do that because that's very specific, but that is a very good question.
Do you accept food items that are already open or used? And what if they're expired?
Ooh, you guys came up with great questions. This is a really big one, and something that we're gonna kind of go to the public with, because we have really seen in the last few months that we've gotten a lot of items that are expired. And as a food pantry, we cannot pass on any food that's been opened or damaged or is past the expiration date. So everything that comes in, because our eyes are getting old, we put a big Sharpie number on the top of the date that it expires, and we go through the inventory and pull anything that's expired in as it comes in. Sadly, that food just has to get disposed of, so we cannot do anything with it, which is a bummer. And just recently, we've had a lot of donations that are expired or opened. Like we do a lot of personal care items too, and maybe an open deodorant or open toothpaste or mouthwash. We can't pass anything like that on, so we end up throwing it away.
Where can people bring donations and when?
We collect every single month on the first Wednesday. So the first Wednesday of every month, you can drop off right here to Faith United. We set up out in the parking lot, so we're still serving outside of the building. But you can drive up and open your trunk, and we will grab the items out of your car. The first Wednesday between 4 and 5:30.
How can people learn more about Nourish 282?
How can people learn more about Nourish 282? That's a really good question. We have a website that people can go to. We're always here if you want to send an email or ask Julie or Michelle or I if we're here, what we do here, because we're helping kids in the community and their families.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me. It's so important. Thank you.
Impressive group you
Yes,
have here.
very wonderful kids.
Thank you all so much. You guys were awesome.
Bring donations to the Easter egg extravaganza on April 9th. And that's a wrap.